Hey guys, this is Kyle. I'm sitting with my good friend Kevin, who's also a fellow entrepreneur. He started the business Warrior Leadership, which is kind of it's a leadership company which teaches mostly young people how to like take charge of their lives, how to have leadership qualities both for themselves and to lead others. I thought that was super cool, and I've actually Kevin does like courses that he offers both in person and online, and I've taken his in-person course. I think that was like 8 weeks or something.
Oh, Braveheart?
Yeah,
6 weeks.
yeah. Throughout the last summer, and that was pretty cool. Like I met a lot of people. Um, he introduced me to a lot of people that I still talk to today. So I just wanted to get him on, get him to talk about some business stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, Kevin. Cool.
Uh,
Um, so yeah, I wanted to get you on, like I told you, just to talk about some business stuff. Because I know I'm gonna post this on my YouTube and my Instagram, and a lot of people that follow me are into like the good old entrepreneurship thing.
hmm,
And I think it's pretty rare for people to actually see like what it's like to like want to start a business because it's like the cool thing to do nowadays. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Everyone wants to make some money online, and it's like the new fad. But like anything, it has like challenges. It's not easy, and if anything, it's probably harder than most things.
yeah.
Um, so Kevin has his business like legally set up, like he has a full like legal business. I ran like a social media marketing but agency, but mine was never incorporated, so it was like a business, just not like legal.
Yeah.
But he went through all the steps. You pay your business taxes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like how'd you get the idea that you wanted to go into like business and not just do like the regular thing, like go get the school, get the job, that type of shit?
Hmm. Hey, thanks for having me here. Hey, everyone. Um, my name is Kevin. I'm the president of Warrior Leadership, and like when I think about this question, like I just think of, yeah, I think of back when I,
That's good, buddy.
I
Yeah,
just,
it's all good. Real take.
I just think of someone I think of myself that doesn't want to like live the life of everyone else. Right? I know that was a kind of a long way to get the answer out, but I just know that when I started off, I knew that what my parents wanted me to do was not what I wanted.
What did they want you to do?
I don't know. They wanted me to be an engineer. They wanted me to be a doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the easy route, go to school, do a STEM thing, get the nice big bucks.
Yeah. Straight.
So why did you just like have no interest in that, or like what were you so against it?
Hmm. I think for me, like I was against a lot of things. My parents is like always wanted me to do and live a certain way, right?
Yeah.
To do this, to play sports and do karate and play basketball and take this class. It felt like I had no freedom.
Yeah.
I was controlled, right? And I know my parents wanted the best for me, but it felt tight. I just needed to fly like a bird.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean actually. That's exactly the same thing for me. My dad keeps harping on me to this day to like go to school. And I'm like, like I respect that school, but like I want to do it my own way. Um, to me, like it just seemed like all the information that you needed was already out there. I know that you're also like a big fan of like Grant Cardone, right? And somebody like Grant Cardone, like Ty Lopez, like Gary Vee, like they're some of the top like social media marketers these days. And they literally you can all they don't only teach you everything that you need to know, but you can also see what they're doing.
Mm.
So I was like, literally like this is actually hard. Like starting a business is hard, but I feel like it's simple. Like it's not magic. You just work hard, get the best information, you know, do your thing and like work. Like it's not like my dad always told me, oh, like you got to be really lucky to be one of these people. Like it's like the lottery ticket. Like it's not the fucking lottery, dude. Like it's not an exact formula, but it's not crazy also. Um, so to me, I like what you said about like being like a burden free. Because even to this day, I keep seeing on Reddit people post about like life path advice, and they feel like stuck because their traditional route is like you get your degree, you go into a career, you get a job, and you're kind of like stuck there because you're mostly in the same industry. And then you got your loans, in the U.S., hundreds of thousands of dollars of loans. So you got to do that, and you're stuck there, 30s working. If you're lucky nowadays, somehow you find a cool girl and like you marry her, and like that's life. And I was like, nah, dude, I don't want any of this. I'd rather do my own thing, be able to like travel, like make it on me. If I fail, it's because of me, because I didn't work hard enough, I didn't get the good enough information,
Yeah.
and then kind of like break free from that mold and just like figure out myself what to do. And I've always watched Gary Vee always says that like school is like kind of like easy compared to real life. Like the real world is a completely different thing. So I knew that probably I could make it in school, but I was like, you know what, might as well just try the real world right away. Save myself like the hard slap in the face, just make it happen even faster.
Interesting. Cool
Yeah.
path. Yeah, that's a cool path.
Thanks. So how long have you been like doing this? Would you say being like an entrepreneur, running your business?
Oh, it's about like 19 months. Yeah, so almost, yeah, 19 months, and yeah, loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. Especially the fact that, I heard a stat like most small businesses fail within the first 48 months.
Yeah.
Wait, 24 months. So that's 2 years. Yeah.
2 years. That sounds about right.
So in the first 2 years, 85% of businesses are crushed. And me and our team, we're not crushed at all. And so that inspires me.
I like it, man.
Part of 15%.
15%, 85. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Goddamn. So what would you say has been like the hardest thing? Because I was telling you earlier about like how I want to show people how doing this flashy like entrepreneur stuff. Actually, it's not flashy. You got to grind it out, and it's not Ty Lopez sitting here in my garage with my Lamborghini. Like I don't have a Lamborghini. You don't have a Lamborghini. Not yet. Soon enough, hopefully. But what would you say has been like the biggest like surprise that you got? Like the surprise challenges that you didn't see coming?
I think the biggest surprise challenges would be the fact in the beginning of not having a lot of money to have right away, right?
Yeah.
Like bootstrapping everything, missing bill payments, having to borrow money a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like kind of like the every day is it's like a very interesting like
Roller
on and off.
coaster.
Yeah, like because one day I would be like, yes, I did something great. I closed the deal. I feel great. And then the other day, I'm just sometimes I'm feeling like what like deflated. You know?
Yeah. It's not always all upside. A lot of days are like kind of like depressing a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Straight up.
I know what you mean. Yeah. No, I like the money aspect is definitely like you got to invest a lot of things and put some things on the line. Kind of like gamble on yourself.
Yeah.
And it's easy to have all these posts online say, oh, you always have to have faith in yourself and just believe. But once you actually have to do it, it's kind of scary. Hey? I think it's worth it in the end. Like you say, like, would you say it's been worth it so far?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Um, Big thing, that word that comes up for me is how committed am I to this business, right?
Yeah.
Because that, commitment is something I struggle with. But
Me too, brother.
it's something that like we teach a lot in our trainings, right? That commitment, like going like following it through till the end, doing what I say, um, and it also means just like staying with it.
Through the good and bad times.
Yeah, like staying with it. Yeah, especially during the tough times, right?
Yeah.
It's yeah. There's been some doubts, but then there's been some good like strong times, right? So,
Cool.
yeah.
Now, I probably think you'd be crazy if you didn't have doubts, especially doing that. But I think every great thing in life has to do with fear and doubt. It's how you know you're on the right path. I'm taking a life purpose course, and he says like, if what you're trying to do doesn't like scare you, and you don't have doubts, then it's not big enough, man. Which I really liked, because some people, he was actually saying that the mistake that we make in having goals is not to make them too big. It's the opposite. You make them too small, and then you don't have the motivation to reach for it. When you get it, it's not worth it. So make it as big as possible. Don't only enjoy the goal too, right? Like you got to enjoy like having to eat ramen because you don't have no money for food, thing that kind of stuff too. Because if you just like trying to like hold on until you have that money for that Lamborghini, like I think you'll be depressed during. You probably won't get there, and if you do get there, you'll never enjoy the Lamborghini because in the end, like it's a piece of metal, man. Like life is not crazy. Like you want a mansion? A mansion is just like drywall and like fucking concrete, dude. It's nothing too crazy. What you really learn, I think, the biggest hardship for me was to do with how much I would have to grow myself to make it succeed. Even a simple thing like being your own boss, people think that's easy or that's like the best life. But the problem with that is you actually have to be your own boss. Nobody's going to tell you when you're fucking up. Nobody's going to tell you when you're not working. You have to like do that yourself.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much that structure is important when you go work at like any job, McDonald's, whatever. They have that structure already in place to make it so that whenever you show up there, your time is always useful. But to make your own time useful when you're like an entrepreneur is like very hard, to make sure that they always say like they're gonna like grind 16 hours a day or something, 12 hours, put it all out. But you can work for 16 hours and do jack shit pretty much. Like to be efficient at doing it and keeping doing it, being committed, like you said, every day, like that was hard for me, hard as fuck actually. That's the biggest lesson I had to learn.
I can really relate with that, man. Especially the busy part, because I know, and the ramen part, because I honestly think, like these days, I know a lot on social media. It's like, the hustle is great. It's like really, like it looks cool, right? But when people are really in it and really feeling it, like really eating ramen, and maybe skipping a meal, or having to walk to an appointment or a meeting, or having to take the bus, or having to jump on the C train with no bus fare to go to a sales meeting, right? Because I've been all there, and I was just thinking that what he said about like being busy, right? Because I used to think, oh yeah, if I'm working for 40 hours or 20 hours a day, I'm not gonna sleep. I'm gonna get somewhere. But I realized, like, look, I can stay busy doing nothing. You know what I mean? I can stay busy doing nothing. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs, even salespeople, like who we work with now, a lot of salespeople and sales managers, is that like I started learning like how can I be more productive in the day? Like what is a specific task I can actually do within 10 minutes? Like let's say I have to write up a contract. How fast can I do this in 10 minutes? And be intentional with it. Instead of taking 2 hours to write a contract because the other half was watching TV or watching Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, very interesting.
No, I like that point. Yeah. Kind of relates, the famous book like the 4-Hour Workweek, where this guy apparently got a business set up so that he had to work 4 hours a week, and a lot of people work like 12 hours a day, and they get nowhere. So it's like the balance, right? That's the kind of lesson that's super interesting when you're an entrepreneur, because you find out the hard way. Whereas other people, like, you kind of have like the excuse. I find when you're an entrepreneur and business owner, like, there's no excuses because nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
You're either broke at the end of the month or you make it.
True.
You can't be like, oh, sorry, like, this was too hard. Like, I work 16 hours a day, though. Can I still get my money?
Yeah.
No, you can't get your money.
There's no guarantee. Yeah. Like, yeah, straight, like, because I'm my own business owner, right? And I still wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I still go to the gym. I do my morning habits, and I meditate, do prayer, and every day. And I start work at 9. No, I'm not always perfect, but I always strive for 9. I start doing my business stuff at 9 a.m. And I know, like, if I don't, I'd be like, I'm not. I realize the impact, right? Because if I don't, like, I could choose not to. I could choose to do something else and not work. Sometimes I do want to. I just want to sleep in, right?
Yeah.
But if I if I work, I can be intentional serving my clients and the people I'm helping, and people who are I'm adding value to, and like who are paying for some of the things in my life, right?
Yeah. Straight up.
Like for helping me get food in my belly, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Food
it's
very important.
yeah.
My next question kind of relates to this. What's your thoughts on that work-life balance? Because to me, the business stuff is super important, but it's not everything that life is about, right? Even if you did make it and you had like a $300 million business, but you hurt like like your family relations, your love relations, your health, and all that,
Right.
I don't think it would be worth it, right? You want to make it so that it complements your life, not that it becomes your life. I feel like. So how do you balance that, and what else do you think? What are other priorities to you besides your business?
Yeah, the whole work life thing, I'm not a good person to ask about that because I know I I thought I work 7 days a week, so I don't take some most days off.
Mm.
I like working on my passion and on my mission, and I know that there are days where I need to take a half day or take the day off,
Right. And you
right?
feel like you struggle doing that?
I struggle because I like doing. I'm a doer, right? Like I love doing things. I know when I do something, I feel like I'm worth something, right?
Yeah.
Which is just my own pattern in my head, belief. But like I know there's times when my body is like, okay, let's let's take a day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where I just like, okay, let's watch a movie instead, or let's take a nap. Right? I
Yeah.
really pay attention to my body. Yeah, that's how I lead myself. Yeah.
Hmm. Body awareness. Interesting.
Yeah.
So because to me, one of the things that helped me is to do something else that's not work, but that's also productive. Because there's a thousand ways to like entertain yourself, right? You can like watch Netflix all day. You can, I don't know, smoke weed, drink, do whatever. Um, but it's also like, for example, some people struggle to like read a book. If I was like, on your off time, why don't you like read a book? Like
Yeah.
entertain yourself. They're like, what the fuck? Like that's even more work. Um, but if you can find pleasure and leisure in just like sitting down and maybe watching like I don't know, like a Gary Vee video or something, or like reading a book that's not too like work related. That's really helped me, so that I don't. I feel like I can still take some time off while still like progressing, right?
Hmm.
Or maybe like having a workout, and that counts as your time off if you don't like hate the gym, uh, that type of stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. For me, I think that's all work for me. You know,
Yeah.
like when I'm taking time to like watch a video, I'm working because I'm working on myself. Right? I'm working on myself, working on my business. The ways like I like to really take care of myself sometimes is I like to eat for some reason. You know, like
Mm-hmm. I
when I'm
like food too.
yeah, even when I'm stressed out, I'll go eat.
Mm.
Because I'm guessing when I was a baby, when I was crying a lot, my mom would always give me milk.
Yeah.
That's where my guess I think it came from. But or sleep, like I really love sleep because I don't get much a lot. I get 5 to 6, sometimes 7 hours of sleep.
Right.
So sleep is something I really value. But it's hard for me to just do nothing. It's very hard for me
Mm.
to just sit. If I'm sitting here for 20 minutes,
Yeah.
unless I'm meditating, I'm gonna like pull up my phone and like do something on my phone
Yeah.
or do something. I don't know what it is. I have to do, right?
I think that's most people though. I don't think most people can just sit and like do nothing. That's why we're like the social media Instagram generation, right?
Mm.
Like even if you're eating something, I don't know about you, but my dad called me out on this because he was like, even when I'm having breakfast or something, I have like my phone out watching a video. Can't even like most apps like stop myself at times because I can't even like sit down and enjoy a meal without like sitting on the computer watching YouTube, just scrolling through Reddit or something. So I think most people have that issue. I don't know if it was ever a time where people just stood around and literally did nothing. Um, but that's so interesting. Like we're always talking to someone, viewing something, fidgeting. Um, I think one of the I was watching something kind of unrelated on addiction, but the guy said that all root of addiction is people's inability to just sit in a room by themselves and do nothing. You need some sort of distraction.
Right.
And not that it's all unhealthy, but distracting yourself with like social media or that, when people get into like substance or something, it's just the same thing. It's just stimulation, right? Either you stimulate yourself or you numb yourself or you're present.
Mm.
And being present all the time is really fucking hard. Like if you think about it, most of what we do is just stimulation or like numbing ourselves, right? Um, Even when you talk about like eating something, eating can be very stimulating, right? At McDonald's, you're excited. I like my shawarma personally, so like I get hyped. I'm about to get my mixed chicken donair. Like that's stimulating. That hypes me up.
Nice.
Um, that's very interesting to me. Do you ever feel like you're stuck in this stimulation loop, perhaps, like when you're working all the time? Because I'm sure it stimulates you, right? Maybe that's why you have trouble kind of like dialing down and stopping that.
Hmm. Yeah, I do have trouble with that. Like sometimes I have to stop myself, like you do, and like be intentional about
Right.
not watching something on my phone or doing something else while I'm eating. Right. Sometimes I just like to just eat and like just focus on what I'm eating. Like wow, like look at that piece of meat, like or veggie. Like I wonder where it came from, and like I'll think of all the nutrients inside it, and I'll just like feel it.
Kind of be like mindful while you're doing it.
Yeah, like being present with it, right? And like wow, like someone took their time to make this food, right? So grateful. Or maybe I even made the food, and I'm like wow, look what I did, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I get to just be like, and I'm watching something, and I don't even know what I'm eating.
Yeah.
I'm just putting something in my mouth.
Totally.
So, yeah.
It's funny to think about. Yeah, someone's told me that. I had a friend who she never actually tastes her food. Like I'm like, how is that? She's like, I don't know. She just like eats it as fast as possible and then just like done.
Right.
I'm like wow, like she never got even the pleasure of just like appreciating what you're eating, whether it's like something fancy like a steak or like anything, a shawarma, like some crap dinner. Like there's a lot of subtleties to flavor, and I think that's kind of like a deep point actually, because it's like if you can't even enjoy like the subtle pleasure of like what you're eating, how can you enjoy like anything in life? Like just walking down the street, like, or as it relates to business, like making phone calls, sitting on your computer, like there's a lot of small enjoyment that it's not even that you just like is invisible to you unless you kind of like sit down and actually like, think about it and like appreciate it.
Sure. Being conscious. Because yeah, David Data said we're only conscious like 80 or 10% of our lives, of our day, or
Sense,
20,
yeah.
15. It's like a very low number.
Right.
Where the rest of it's just very unconscious. It's like
autopilot.
Autopilot. We're just like we don't even know we're doing it. It's subconscious, right? Like we just do it because we're used to it.
Yeah.
But like being conscious, I'm aware, right? Especially like my words, being aware of my words, being aware of what I'm saying, like being aware of like even what I'm feeling. You know?
I think that's a big one actually. Emotions.
Yeah.
Because I used to have anger issues a lot growing up. One of the big things that help is kind of like seeing from afar instead of just like exploding. You're like, wait, I'm actually angry, and that kind of like disconnect, just like seeing your emotions helped me a lot. And in general, like even something like depression that can help, because instead of being in that low depressed mood, you can kind of like sit back and be like, oh, like I'm actually depressed, like
Yeah.
just looking at it. And that's kind of a strange thing. Of course, it doesn't cure it, but it kind of helps, right? Kind of like disidentifying from your emotions, not taking them too seriously. I feel like that lets you appreciate the good ones more and don't be like destroyed by the bad ones.
I like what you said about seeing it from afar to see it. That's a really good way to teach it, actually.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Seeing it from afar, it's like, it's neutral, right? I know in self-leadership, one of our self-things that we're doing in one of our modules is that in self-leadership, they talk about, it's the first one is leading ourselves and leading others. And I know when I'm leading other people, or even when I'm just with other people, I'm going to get triggered, right? I'm going to feel pissed off. Maybe I'm going to feel jealous.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm with a girl and I'll feel jealous because she's looking at another guy or something, right?
Yeah.
I started like doing what you said. I started seeing from afar, like stepping outside my being, and like walked over there and looked right back at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, there'd be me right there, my spirit's right there, but looking back at me and my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, what do I see, right? Okay, Kevin's pissed. He's upset about this. But what does Kevin want for this part of Kevin, right? Oh, I want him to be okay with who he is, or I want him to be confident. I want him to be a leader in that moment.
Right.
And then that's when I can come back and then put it into action, what I want, right?
Yeah.
That's powerful. Powerful way. Powerful, yeah.
I think so too, man. Yeah, I like that. I'm glad that you resonated with that. Because to me, if you take it too seriously and you're too, I don't want to say too present because it's the opposite actually. When you're tuned to your emotions, you're not even present anymore. You're like gone. You're just controlled by something else. So I'm glad that you think the same thing. Yeah.
The only really risk is being non-judgmental about it.
Yeah.
But being straight neutral about the emotion. You know?
You would say that's a risk or
it's important. Like
right.
If I want to look away at myself, I need to be not neutral, like not attached to anything.
Yeah.
And if I can see myself in a neutral way, like not saying good or bad about it, my behavior,
right,
then I can be okay. Because I know if I start judging myself, it's gonna go down a negative spiral, right? I'm gonna be
very
more
bad,
angry.
yeah.
If I'm saying it's good, then I'm reinforcing something that could be bad, right? So I have to be neutral, like okay, just aware, right? So there's some value for me.
I like it. That's interesting to me because I know I resonate with the judgment part a lot. Because judging yourself can be like so terrible.
Yeah.
It brings you into guilt, into shame, and not only are you like worse off for doing like something quote unquote bad, but you're even worse off because you're like judging yourself from like doing that, right? For example, if you're doing some pickup and you're trying to talk to a girl and you pussy out of talking to her, you don't talk to her, right? So instead of being like, okay, it's whatever, I'll talk to the next time. I've seen some people and I've seen it myself where it brings you so down. You're like, I can't believe I couldn't talk to her. I'm such a fucking pussy. I should know better.
Yeah.
I thought I was better than this. And then that's so toxic. Like just like literally a girl walking by you can like ruin your entire day. And I've seen it and like it's scary stuff, man. Scary stuff.
I just start like hurting myself if I do that.
Basically, yeah.
Then I can't show up confidently, right?
Yeah. If you attack yourself, what's left to you then show up, right?
Yeah. What's the audience that's going to be watching this? What's your friends?
This is mostly I'm gonna post it on my YouTube, which is I used to make some videos around like League of Legends, and I'm gonna turn it around for some more like real life stuff because I don't connect with the gaming stuff as much. Post it on my Instagram too. Maybe make some clips of it, which is a mix of just random people that I've met, self-development community, red pill community, photography, girls that I picked up randomly. Like it's a whole thing.
Oh, you're gonna interview other like ladies that you dated before? You gonna bring them here or what?
No. That's just not the plan.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe someday. No, I just wanted to shoot this video just to kind of get some interesting conversation going, which it was. We went from like business to like emotional mastery, all that kind of stuff. and just get some thoughts out, because I feel like I have all these interesting conversations with people, and if they were recorded, that'd be some real value.
Yeah.
Me and you have talked at length before, and I always thought that we had like some good conversations. So I'll have to get it on film, see what that looks like, and I think so far I'm pretty happy about it. I think that was cool. Yeah. Do you have any last words before we close it off?
Yeah, like I just wanted to add some value here before I go because I know that we're talking about being confident, right? And I'm just
Yeah.
thinking of the people who be watching the video, because whether it be either you know, your audience or maybe my audience, the warrior leadership audience, I'm just thinking like the confident. When I think of confidence, and I thought of the times when I was confident, when
Yeah.
I was confident, when I felt confident. I could think of what I was doing, right? I could think of, okay, when I was confident, I had my chest up, right? I was taking up space. I was smiling a lot. I was I wasn't affected by things.
You're more grounded.
I was grounded. And I was like when something bad would happen, I'd be cool and calm and collected, especially when it would happen with a team or with people. Yeah, and I'm just curious. Like I'm just super. I wanted to share that because I know like maybe whoever's watching has those times when they wanted to feel confident, right?
Yeah.
And happy and find happiness. Because I know those confident moments sometimes show up in our lives, right? And maybe we're not aware of that. But there's some value for you there. But
I like it.
in that,
Confidence is very, very important. Without it, man, you can't accomplish much. You won't get girls. You won't get good at your job. You won't get good at business. Probably won't feel confident enough to go to the gym. Like nothing good will happen in your life without confidence. I feel like so. Very important.
yeah.
Cool. So I want to thank you for coming on, man. My good friend Kevin Padillo. Like he said, he's the president of Warrior Leadership. What's the best way for people to check you out?
You can check us out at truewarrior.ca. I actually want to give a gift to your audience, actually. Because normally we have a course that's worth about $10,000 that for the whole year of training. But I wanted to give it to your audience for free. For the first time, the first meeting's free, and I wanted to give you all access to our leadership mastermind. It happens every Sunday. We have recordings and all that, and I want to give it access to your people to learn about confidence and leadership and self development, especially when wanting to be influential with people, like being a leader. This will like give you more, even more money if you're working a job. It'll increase your confidence and leadership skills. And if you want to sign up, it's only truewarrior.ca. We have a little landing page. You can check it out, truewarrior.ca. It's gonna ask for your email and your number. Put it in there because I want to give you access. I want us to be able to serve you and help you spark that leadership in your life. All right. So thanks a lot.
Cool. I would recommend it. I've taken his course and I've been in the online program. I saw his thing and I took like a couple pages of notes and it was worth it to me. So I co-sign. All right, sweet. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah.
Cool.